Hey, this is Tim here. Hope you're doing well. We're moving on to welding number 2, and tonight or today we're going to the class work is just going over. We're going to create a drawing for this. It's just an equipment base, big long weldment with some casters on it. Something I drew up years ago. But look, the main thing is that it's a real part that was made. So I'm sure there's some dimensions missing. We're going to work on this, and then for homework, you have this hairy back panel. There's lots of connectors here. It would be sheet metal, but it would be just punched out or laser cut. So just more drawings, and then we have this part here. So you're just going to go over some ordinate dimensioning, things like that. So. Look, we'll start with this 6-inch base, and let me have a look at this here for 1 second. So let's have a look. Let's get Solidworks going. So I'm going to create a 3D sketch. Here we go, 3D sketch. We're just going over. We're going over weldments. You're going to learn. We're just going over. You're not going to really cover anything new. So I'm going to draw 2 lines, and we'll make this and this midpoint, and this is going to be along the Y, and these 2 lads are going to be the same along the Y, and the distance between them is 20. So we make that 20. Now if that's 20, what's the length? The length is, it looks like from end to end is 101.5. Is that right? 101.5. Let's double check it. 101.5. So we have those 2 lines, and I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to draw the end parts of it. Now we should be able to mirror that down. We'll just do one side. I'll go midpoint and midpoint, and let's make them the same length. Let's try that again. Okay. Alright, what is it now? It's 14 plus 2 on either side is 18. We'll make this 18. Make that 18. What's the length of the legs? It's saying 28 is the length of the legs, plus 2 is 30. I'll tell you what's going through my head. I'm just going to draw this out, and then I'm going to create the drawing of it, and if my dimensions are not matching up with this, then I will adjust the dimensions. Is what my plan is. So so I got 30. I'll make these 2 equal. Okay, and I'm just going to, I think that's enough. I'm just going to mirror this, what I have, down to the other side, and then we can put the feet in. So let's go to here, and it's 2 by 2 by 1/4 of an inch. Alright, we have one there and one there. That might work, yeah. And then we have one there and one there. See, that's let's just have a look at this. We have, yeah. So we get that. Okay, we got that and we got that. Okay, new group. What about that and that? Okay, let's go to here. Let's go locate profile. Let's lock it to the top. If my explanations are a bit short, I made about an hour-long video on this, and snag it, bollocksed it up and lost it, and I don't know how, if you've ever lost work before. It's twice three times the motivation to redo it. I'm going to do my best. That's no excuse. All right. We'll do a new group. Okay, we got that. I'm going to click here. Now it's after extending that. We got to slow down here for a second. Let's see what we can get. No, I don't want it to. I don't want it to extend that, but I don't really know because I don't know the dimensions. And there, we'll locate the profile. Okay. That's good enough. Okay, we got that. I'm probably confusing some of you. What I'm doing is I'm just drafting this out. Look, what I'll do is I'll mirror it and then I'll check the dimensions. Okay, we got that. Let's mirror it over. Bodies to mirror. This, and this. Okay, now we got that. Is that, it's not okay? That's fine if it hasn't trimmed it. That we got a bit of an issue there. Okay, let's check the dimensions first. So the end to end is 101.5. So let's check that. I'll go from there to there, and what do I get? 103.5. Okay, 103.5. So we'll go back to here. I need to take 2 inches away, and we'll just go 101 minus 2 is 99.5. Let me do that again because I'm beaten out at the moment. 101.5. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. We got the 101.5. I got 30 from top to bottom. So from all I need is really that line there. That's 30 from top to bottom. That's good. And then I need from there to there is 20, and I have 14 plus 2 is 18. So I need to get rid of 2 inches there. So this is 18. We'll make that 16. Sorry if I'm going too fast and if it's confusing you. Anyway, this is good. We've got no interferences there. On the other side, I need to trim this bad boy and this lad here. So what do? I'm going to go to trim. Bodies to be trimmed are that guy and that, and then the face is just that face right there, and it should cut both of them. And I'm going to go, okay, what it does is it'll get rid of the smallest piece automatically, and then you're left with that. So that wasn't too bad. Right. Okay, we got this. I'm going to save this. I'm just going to save it here. We'll call it Weldments number 2 classwork. And then I look at the feet. We're going to draw on 1 foot, and then we'll do the same. We'll mirror it all around. So I'm going to create a sketch on that face there. I'm going to go normal 2. I'm going to get a rectangle, and it's 4 and 7. So this is 4. That's 7. This is a ½ inch, as I can remember from about half an hour ago. ½ inch, and we'll get a center line. I suppose the best advice I can give you is you should be able to. This should be no trouble to you. So just make sure what you're drawing is this. These are matches these reference dimensions. I don't really care how you would get there. Okay. The fillet is 0.75. Come on now. Let's get rid of this line, and let's go there to there, and we'll extrude it. it's a 1/2 inch. Okay, the next thing we want is hole wizard. So it's 5/16 18. Okay, let's close this lad down. We don't need that open. So it's 5/16 18. 5/8 is not right. So we have two 5/16. One's 18 and one is 24. 24 is the fine thread. 18 is 18 threads per inch. So it's a size of 5/16 is 0.3125 and it's 18 threads per inch. Okay. So I'll click on positions and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'll go normal 2. I'll get myself a center line. I'll make these lads horizontal and vertical, and I'll make this and this and this guy symmetrical. And let's look at some dimensions. We've 3.4 and 2.4. The reality are these holes are off because I put a caster on it. So I'm going to leave these floating for the time being. Just leave them there. They're good. Trust me, leave them there. Don't even put any dimensions on them. Because they're wrong. And then let's get another hole. I'm going to go back and fix those later. It'll make sense. And then we have 3 3/4 10. Hole size is 0.75 and it's 10 threads per inch. So it's a pretty coarse hole. 3/4 10. Alright. It goes there. What is this big threaded foot? There's a leveling foot, a big massive threaded foot. When you think of a foot, you think of a real human's foot, but it's just big. It's like a big threaded screw with a rubber end on the end of it that they can lift this up and level out the equipment if needed. So it's 0.8 from the front. Okay, now we got that. What we're going to do now is we're going to mirror it. Now, I was saying before, so whenever we mirror, let's do it. We'll mirror. You typically go to features to mirror. If that doesn't work, I would advise you to use bodies to mirror. And whenever you're doing weldments, each of these are really considered as bodies. They're all different bodies. So we click on this body. Okay, the mirror face. I should be able to pick one of these planes. If you did not center your original 3D sketch, your mirroring will get screwed up, and it might get screwed up now, I think. But let's try that one there. That one looks well. Okay, that looks okay. Let's check it. Let's try the other one. If it doesn't, you can always put in a reference plane. It's not the end of the world. We'll do mirror. Bodies to mirror. We'll mirror that guy and that guy. And that looks good. We'll go okay. And what else do we get? We've got to put in some end plates, and we've got to put in some gussets. So right, we'll get the end plates going. End caps. Alright, we want the corners, we want the chamfers. We want it to be inside. Okay, that looks good. That looks the business. Let's put in some gussets as well for good measure. We'll make them 3 by 3. 0.25 is just fine. I'm going to hit the pin. Now that puts in one. If I put in another, if I press enter, will that work? That'll do the job. I like that. That's faster. No. Okay, so I'm just going through this here. We forgot this one here. I think what happened in the real life when the guys made this, they just said to hell with those gussets. They're like, are you kidding me? But there's no harm in you guys putting them in just for practice, okay? Do we have them down that bottom corner? Yeah. So we have the feet. Take your time. I know I'm rushing through it. It's just my bloody second time doing it today. Okay. Hide all types. Is that it? That's the assembly. Let's save it. Okay. In your drawing, we have casters. Okay, so I'm gonna get these casters from McMaster Car. So we go to McMaster Car. I'll type in the number. It's a cushion grey polyurethane on polypropylene wheels. They're lightweight. I would have thought we would have went with something a bit harder, a bit more structural, but that's fine. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to just stick this in the. I'm going to stick it on the desktop, okay? And what we'll do is I'll open it up. All right, there it is, beautiful. The nice thing about McMaster Car is whenever you buy a part from them, it's going to be a bit more expensive because they just are expensive, but they always provide you with Solidworks model, which is nice, makes life easy. Right, so let's go new assembly, and I'm going to put in the. Now slow down, don't plonk it right in. Read what it says. This is something I learned new. Select a component to insert. We've done that. Then place it in the graphics area or hit OK to locate it at the origin. Is that a good thing? Would we like it to be located at the origin? Yes. So I'm just going to hit OK. And look what it does. It fixes it, but look where the assembly right, top and front planes are. So that will work for us. We're going to be mirroring stuff left, right and center. Now, I'm going to insert the caster. Okay, you know where it goes. I'm going to mate this face with there. I'm going to mate using a width mate, a width mate. Watch this, it centers it up, that face to that face, and I want it centered between that face and that face. It doesn't really matter whether it's a width or a tab, you can change those. We're going to make this, I don't want to move this caster too far down near that threaded hole, so I'm going to mate this to here. I'll make that a 1/2 inch. Okay, now look here, those holes do not line up with those tabs. The dimensions that I gave you were wrong. So I don't know what happened there, but anyway, so let's fix the holes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn on the wireframe hidden lines so you can see the slots. I'm going to right click on my part and I'm going to edit it in place. Before you can do that, it wants you to save the assembly. So we'll call this Weldments number 2 classwork assembly. And then what do? I drop down my feature tree, even though I'm in an assembly. I want to change these tapped holes, so I'm going to edit the sketch. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to get a center line, and what I'm doing is I'm referencing those slots. Okay, now hold on. I want to explain something important. So let me just do this first, then I'll explain it. Okay. And I'll make this lad midpoint on there, and this midpoint on there. No. Now why won't that? Will it allow me to do it? can I go and make that midpoint? That works. That's black and that's black. Right, so, and I'll go, okay, I'll rebuild everything. And you can see now the holes line up in the center of the slot. So this is kind of important. What I just did there is I created an external reference to, don't worry about that word so much. I created an external reference to this caster. If I move the position of that caster, let's say I move it an inch. Right, I'll do that real quick. In theory, what should happen are those holes should follow. I'll make it an inch, but they didn't follow. What am I going to do? I'm going to rebuild the assembly. Is it going to work? Interesting, it didn't work. Right, so there was an issue with those. Yeah, there's an issue here somewhere. Okay, that's not good. Yeah, that fell on its arse. Now, I'm going to fix that. That should have followed. I don't know why. Let's put this back and let's make that 0.5, and let's see, does that fix it? I'm going to hit rebuild. It doesn't. Okay, now I've got to go back here and find out what's going on with yeah, see, there's some conflicting. We don't need these verticals and horizontals. I bet you I can get this to work. Let's make this midpoint. Let's get rid of these verticals. Is there anything there? We don't need that symmetrical. Let's make this midpoint there, and let's see, does this work? I'm going to save that. I'll go back to my distance mate. I'll make a 0.75. Okay. Is that right? Did I just screw that up? 0.75. Okay. Now it followed it. Okay. Let's bring it back. So that's good. At least that works. There was an issue with the original horizontal and vertical relations that I put in. If you can understand that, that's kind of a big deal. That's going to save you a lot of trouble. Okay. That's an important step. Okay. So we got that. So what I'm going to do before I mirror this over, I'm going to get the washers and I'm going to get the bolts. Okay. So let's just turn this off. Let's turn off these sketches that I see here. Okay. So what is the thread here? There's a threaded hole there that we can't see. Let's turn it on. Options, document properties, detailing, shaded cosmetic threads. Okay. Is it there? No. Anyway, it's not coming up. Alright, we have a 5/16 18 hole there. You would put a washer in, and then you would put a hex bolt. So let's download them. So here, what do we put in? A washer. Standard washers. And we'll do a screw size of what? 5/16. First screw size 5/16. Flat. I'm going to pick the first one. It will work. Or I'm sure all of these would work. They're for a 5/16 bolt. Alright. I'm going to save it. I'm going to download it. I'm going to put it straight into my assembly. It's best if you download these into a folder and then bring them in. Okay? Let me show you how to do that right, or it's going to bite you in the arse. Hex bolt, cap screw. What is it again? It's 5/16 18. The length is 3/4. We want full threads. You don't want it made out of plastic or aluminium. It will just break. You're going to make it out of steel. If you have the money, get it a bigger grade, a higher grade, because it's stronger. This one will do. Right. I'm gonna right click on this. Let's just click on it. It opens it up. I'm going to save as and save it on the desktop. Okay, save it in the wherever the folder, in the same project folder. Okay, now we're going to insert it. Okay, and I'm going to mate this guy. It wants a tangent mate. Let's try that again. This to here. Watch that. See what how it'll center it. That face to there. Okay. Now I'm going to copy and paste my this assembly. And what I found is it seems to put it very far away for some reason. I have no idea. So we put that inside there, but we'll flip it, and then I'll get that face with that face. I'm going to rotate this component, just get it in the right orientation, and I'll just get that face, that concentric face, with this concentric face, there to there, and there we go. We've just installed half the hardware. I click on this face, on this part. I want to look for his front plane, and look what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go mirror components. Now you're seeing me move at the speed that I would totally move, you know. So I apologize if I'm going really fast. Anyway, that there is all the hardware to bolt that caster in. Alright, now watch this. We'll click the front plane. I'm going to go to mirror components. I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm just going to go OK, and it goes boom. Then I'm going to click this face, and I'm going to go mirror components, and I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm going to go OK, and now I have that there. Okay. So there is the assembly. Now what do we need? Hold on a second. I'm going to create a view in my drawing that has an exploded assembly. Just shows how this all goes together, just for one of them. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to right on the third tab. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to go new exploded view, and I'm just going to click that and that and that, all of these parts just on one side. You'll see in a bit. I'll drag this out. This is good. Then I'm going to grab this and pull him back, and then I'm going to grab these four and pull them out, and that's it. That's all I need. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to go save all. Let's close it down, and let's close this down. We're going to create a nice drawing for this. This was a sloppy drawing just given to them, probably spent about an hour on it. We're going to create a nice drawing for this project. Alright, so give me 5 minutes and pray this thing can. Right, I'm back and it's saved, so I'm happy now. We're going to create a drawing for this assembly. Let's just make sure that it's okay. I was moving lightning speed. And it looks pretty good. You know, in this configuration we can right click here, collapse, and it's back, you know. So we're going to create how would we create a nice assembly for this weldments with the casters. That's what we want to do. So you can see in our drawing it's a little bit rough, but we'll do a nice job. So let's go new drawing, B 11 by 17. Okay, we'll let's just cancel out of this for 1 second, and we'll go edit sheet format, and we just get rid. This is just too much space that it's taken up. You're probably saying to yourself, why are you doing this over and over again? I need to create a template. I'd rather just do this. It's good practice for you. I don't really care. So model view, and we'll do an assembly, and we'll do isometric preview, and that's good right there, or even here is good. That's good, that'll do the job. We could even turn on the colors. Model view. I don't think we need the casters in on this, so I'm going to have to show you something new. We're going to create a configuration with casters. We're going to create a configuration without casters. The default will be with casters. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to go add configuration. I'm going to call it without casters. Okay. And in without casters, I'm going to turn these guys off. I'm going to turn everything off. Right click and we'll suppress. Okay, so watch this. I just highlighted everything by holding the shift key down. I right clicked on it and suppressed everything. I go back to configurations. I double click on default and I have my casters. I double click on without casters. They're gone. They're still there, but they're just turned off. Okay, so let's save that. That's what configurations are. I don't think I've shown you that before, but they're very, very useful. Okay, now model view. Yeah, look, that's overkill what we're trying to do. I could have just browsed and I could have just gotten the part. Do you know? I could have just made the part. I just could have created the view out of the part instead of doing configurations. That would be easier. So let's make these views a little bit bigger. 1:15. That's okay. What else are we missing? We have the table there. We need a right view. Might be a bit what's the right word I'm trying to think? Optimistic to try and get all of this in one go. We'll give it a shot. I'm going to right click on this, and I'll right click on this view, and I'm going to go tangent edge removed. What I'm doing is I'm getting rid of those fillets, and the same here and the same here. It just adds to it. It adds to the confusion. Right click here, tangent edge removed. Tangent edge. It just turns off the fillets, the curves that you would see, the extra line. Now we're laughing. Now it's a bit easier looking. Okay, let's open this up. Let's go to the default and click on here, explode, and let's zoom in here. Okay, now watch this. Model view, exploded, current model view. Let's put this outside. We don't need that. It's not going to print it. Let's turn it on. And what are we going to do? We're going to get a detail view, and we're just going to get a detail view of this, and I'm going to put that up over here, and I'm just going to right click on that detail. I'm going to hide it, and I'll click here and we'll make that a bit bigger. Oh, I like it. That looks good. So you can see how the things get connected. Right, what else? Is that the best way of organizing these views? We could make this view a bit bigger. Put that there. That looks good. I like it. That works. This is looking nice now. Okay. What are we going to do then? We're going to go insert, tables, Weldments cut list. I'm going to click on this guy. I'm going to just go OK, and I'm going to put that right there. Now hold on, we need to start putting some dimensions on this chap. This seems very big. I'm going to hit A. I'm going to make all of this 12. We'll make it 11 even, and then what we can do is we can just put some, make it a bit smaller. Okay, that's good. Even the heights. Right click, formatting, row height. We could make it 0.25, What does that look like? Makes it a bit smaller. We could even make it a bit smaller. Right click, formatting, row height, 0.2. It doesn't want us to make it that small. 0.205. There you go. And now we're putting manners on everything. We'll fix this later. Don't worry about that. Now we have 28. We need to. I think we checked all the dimensions on this. So let's 105. I'm pretty sure we checked the dimensions on it. So we'll go from there to there. This is an ISO dimension. So how do we fix it? We go to Tools, Options, Document Properties, ANSI. Another advantage of making you do this over and over again is just remember where everything is. 101.5. Let's do this from end to end. From there to there's 18. I can't remember if that's right or not. 18, yeah. And then the last thing is we need 30. And then we're kind of looking good. So we'll go from the top down to here. Yes, bollocks. Let's try this again from there to there. Yes, 30.5 is good. So the overall dimensions are all working, so we're laughing. What else do we need? We're not there yet. We need a detailed view of this. We need to make that a bit bigger. We need to make that 1. We make it 1:6. That's a bit small. 1:4. That's good enough. 1:4. We could make it 1:3. Too big. 1:4. I don't care about those numbers, whether it's 4 or whatever. It's just the size is what I'm interested in. I'm just looking at it in terms of the drawing sheet. That's all. We could make this a tiny bit bigger. We'll make it 1:5. Okay. So when I'm doing a drawing, I'm putting in all the views that I need. I'm kind of spacing them out, playing with them, making sure I have all the views that I need. If there's too many views on the sheet, you have to have a second sheet. And then I start putting some dimensions in. Okay. So let's just go with this view here. And the rule is there's no, put more dimensions in if you have to. We got to 18. We could go from end to end, 101.5, and then we could put a dimension here, 97.5. What else do we need? You have the 18. You can get this 14 there. We can dimension at end cap later. We could go from there to there is 18. We have the 30.5. We have 18. You could put this in if you wanted from there to the bottom, 8.5. We need the thickness of this guy is 0.5. We'll get one of these dimensions here, 16. We need to say that that's 3, so how are we going to do that? Let me will I get that point? No, it's going to be a pain. We can put it in here that the gusset is 3 by 3 by 0.25. Let's drag this down a tiny bit. What else are we missing? These are all centered, right? Let's open this up. Let's open this part up. Let's go to the cut list. What's item number 4? That's those feet. Properties. We type in description. Spell it right. Make it text. What is it? It's there, the end feet. Quantity 4. I press OK. Let's go to number 5. They're the end caps. properties, description, text, and caps, quantity 4, properties, description, gussets. Now we have to put this in 3 by 3 by 0.25, centered. Let's control tab to go back to the drawing, and let's have a look at that. Stupid thing hasn't come up. Okay, we got to go by and find out why that gussets hasn't come up. Properties, description, DESCR, description. Okay, there you go, you got to spell it right. Save it, control tab, there it is right there. Slow down, take a breather for a second. Okay, do we have all the dimensions on the we don't need this guy, I don't think. I will leave it in. They're all there. This looks good. We need some parts here. What happens if I go okay, this has been a bit lazy now. We need the part numbers here, so I'm just going to use balloons, but can I go insert tables, bill of materials? If I click on this, what's going to happen? Is it going to give me everything? That might do the job. Watch this. I click on this. I don't care. I'm gonna drag this guy down. Watch this. I'm gonna drag this down to the very, very bottom. I'm gonna right click on it and I'm gonna hide it. Hide row. I'm gonna click on this description. I'm gonna hide that. No, don't do that. Hide the column. Hide column. This is making my life easy. Let's make this a lot smaller though. Let's make this 10. Let's park him there. Let's drop this down a little bit. What I was going to do is I was just going to use normal leaders just to put some numbers on this. We'll go balloon 1. Try that again. 2. Balloon. Ah, yeah, bollocks of a thing. Balloon. Oh yeah, I'm having a good time. What it's doing is I'm trying to select these damn the threads. Auto balloon. It's having a hard time selecting those. There, I got one anyway. Arsehole. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Number 3 is look. If you're even more eager than I am, right click here. You would add a column and you'd say what this is. That is a 5/16 18 cap screw, and then your washer. Do you know what I mean? I've gotten into the habit of including the master car part number and the description. So that's good. What else we're missing? The title block. So let's put some dimensions in here. Whole call out. 3/4 10. Let's get another one there. 5/16. Let's leave him where he is. If you find yourself like really rushing and absolutely hating doing drawings, you're probably in the wrong business. You want to try something else. If they can be frustrating, but you gotta override your natural reaction to just rush the hell out of them. I have to be honest. Um, just move this down a little bit, get a bit of space. 7, 4.47. We need that dimension to the corner. Come on now. There you go. 1.16. We have a center line there that indicates it's in the center of the center line. You know, there'd be no harm in just going boom and just putting that in there as well. We also need this guy. So from there to there, 0.8. So there's it's fairly busy up there at the top. You could make this view a bit smaller. You know, right click here, edit sheet format, weldment, weldment number 2, class work, drawing number 01272016-002. Let's make this like 20, revision A. Stick in Anne Arundel Community College, stick your name in there, get the logo going, put it down the bottom left hand corner. Have a bit of pride in your work. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, give me a break now and then we'll move on to the homework, but this is your class work.